Good afternoon, all. Let's take up the session of goods and services tax. And today we are going to involve a topic like inspection, search, seizure, and arrest. Now, as we all know that when we talk about the inspection, search, seizure, or the arrest, it's a legal proceedings that is forwarded to the genuine taxpayer, or you can say to the taxpayer who is responsible for paying the taxes. But if in case any discrepancy is being found in his payment, then these actions can be taken by the authorities so that there should not be any loss for revenue for the government. So, whenever any proper officer finds any discrepancy in payment of taxes, in filing of returns by the taxpayer, as they have not met out the liabilities properly, in that case, we go for inspection, search, seizure, or arrest. So, when we involve these terms here, so it is clear that when we are talking about inspection or search, it is the lighter terms in comparison to seizure and arrest. Arrest is the most complicated and the last resort which is left with the authorities to take against any of the taxpayer. And inspection is the lightest way of saving the revenue for the government. So it is the first step in taking any action against the genuine taxpayer, that is to get its accounts inspected, get its place of business inspected, and accordingly take actions for the revenue loss. So let us take up the inspection first. Now, as you can see here in the first part, it is saying that in any tax administration, the provisions for inspection, search, seizure, and arrest are provided to protect the interest of genuine taxpayers. Yes, obviously, the one who is paying the tax and the one who is evading the tax. This is not acceptable, as the one who is paying the tax should get the benefit and the one who is evading the tax should be penalized for that. So these provisions are also required to safeguard government's legitimate dues. Of course, there should not be any revenue loss for the government, so these actions is being taken. Thus, these provisions act as a deterrent, and by checking evasion, provide a legal playing field to genuine taxpayers. Obviously, then it may be mentioned that the options of inspection, search, seizure, and arrest are exercised only in exceptional circumstances and as a last resort to protect the government revenue. This is what we have discussed right now. So, before coming for the inspection, the steps under the what all necessary steps that has to be taken by the proper officer has already been taken, and if still there is discrepancy found, then the proper officer can, or the authorities can instruct for going on for these inspections, search, seizure, or the arrest. So let us take up the inspection given under section 67. The inspection here refers to assessing any place of business of a taxable person or transporter or owner, operator of godown, warehouse, or any other place. So inspection here means when you go physically and you can say permit, or you go physically to assess the place of business of the person, taxable person, or the transporter, or the owner or operator of any godown or warehouse where the stores have been made, or where the goods are being stored, or any other related place from where you are sure that it is related to the discrepancy of tax payment. So you have the permission to inspect any such place which is related to the business. It may be related to the store or go down or warehouse or any other place. Now, when we compare this inspection with search, it has lighter consequences, or it is less effective as compared to the search, because search is the next higher level after inspection. That says the inspection can be carried out by an officer of CGST or SGST only upon a written authorization. So it is necessary that whosoever is conducting the inspection should be having a written authorization for it, and the person who is providing the authorization is of joint commissioner or above rank. Nobody less than this rank can authorize the proper officer to go for the inspection. So a joint commissioner or an officer higher in rank can give such authorization only if he or has the reasons to believe that the person concerned has done one of the following actions. Let's take up the following actions. Under what circumstances the inspection order can be issued? One is suppression of any transaction relating to supply of goods or services or stock in hand. If it has been found that there is sufficient proof that there is a suppression of any transaction, like the supply has been done but it has been concealed by the taxpayer, or any discrepancies being found in difference to the stock in hand, then claimed excess input tax credit, any proof which is available with the authorities that there has been input tax credit which has excessively claimed and the taxpayer is not the rightful claimant of that. In that case, you can go for the inspection. Then contravention of any provisions of the act or the rules to evade tax. In any case, if it has been found that the tax evasion has been done, or transporting or keeping goods which escaped payment of tax, or manipulating accounts or stock which may cause evasion of tax. Any movement of goods, like the goods are under transportation, or keeping goods which escaped payment of tax, any sort of you can say storing of goods which has escaped the payment of tax, or any sort of goods which is moving in transport and the tax has been evaded. Under such situation, the it will result into tax evasion, and thus the inspection can be uh, proceeded. Or you can say if any sort of manipulation in accounts or stock has been done, in that case also the GST is assumed to be not paid or evaded, and the inspection can be followed. Then inspection can also be done of the conveyance carrying a consignment of value exceeding specified limit. Now, this is the situation where it says that if inspection needs to be done when the goods are in transit, that is also possible, because inspection, if you have transported the goods and the goods you are transporting is of higher value or exceeding the quantity that you have informed of, for which you have generated the bill, and the amount or the quantity of the this goods in the transportation is higher, then in that case, and if this information has been proved, then that case the inspection can be done for the goods during transit also. Then the person in charge of the conveyance has to produce documents or devices for verification and allow inspection. And so this point clearly says that the person who is in charge of transporting the goods, who is in charge of the conveyance, needs to produce the proper documents that has been provided for the goods in transit, and also he cannot stop the inspection process. So he needs to allow the inspection to be done. An inspection during transit can be done even without authorization of joint commissioner. So for this, it might be possible that there is no written authorization for this inspection, and obviously if the inspection is going on during transit, then you cannot stop that inspection just because the written document is not there, because in goods in transit can be inspected even without the written authorization by the joint commissioner. Then it says inspection and movement. First point, any consignment value of which is exceeding 50,000 may be stopped at any place for verification for movement of such consignments. So any amount of any quantity of goods which is having value more than 50,000 can be stopped at any place, and inspection can be done without any written authorization also. If on verification of the consignment during transit it is found that the goods were removed without prescribed document, or the same are being supplied in contravention of any provision of the act, then the same can be detained or seized and may be subject to penalties as prescribed. Of course, if during the inspection for the goods in movement, if any discrepancy is being found, then in that case, these goods being can be seized, it can be detained till the further formalities for the goods have not been done, or the penalties has not been imposed. So these all actions can be taken if any discrepancy has been found in case of goods which are in movement. And search we'll take up in the next session. Thank you all.